Everywhere GBS.
The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu Jamii. My name is Betty Akuku. I am your host this day, and I am so excited to have an expert with me in studio. She will be introducing herself shortly, but allow me to bring to you a very crucial topic. We are going to be talking about happy parenting. When I look at society today, a lot of parents are so stressed. They do not know what to do with their children. They're so difficult in their hearts, not because of providing food, not because of paying school fees or buying clothes, but they really do not know how to catch the hearts of the children. They're losing their children to the society and to the people that they have not desired to in the longest time. Today, I want to bring to us a lady expert in the studio with me. She will introduce herself and take us through this discussion. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you very much, Betty. Hi, viewers. My name is Rosalind Keegan. I'm a family therapist and a life coach. And I can't wait to start our discussion today.
Wow.
Yes.
You're welcome, Rosalind.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Betty.
Today.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about happy parenting.
Yeah.
I don't know, are there any happy parents?
I think there are many happy parents out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are many. I'm very, very sure you're a happy parent. Yeah. Because when God gives you the gift of a child, it's automatically you're happy. And I think we need also as a society, we need to stop, reduce this notion that parents are bad, parents are not doing very well, because there's some parents out there who are really trying to intentionally parent their children. So yeah, there are happy parents out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. Many parents are so busy,
Yeah.
engaged in work, not for their own good, but for the good of their children.
Yeah.
And because of this, they have had to kind of delegate.
Yeah.
And yet, parenting, in my understanding, you cannot delegate parenting. Somebody else cannot parent your children except yourself. So as parents are busy making money to find satisfaction and good life for their children, some of their children are going astray. And they're not appreciating the efforts that the parents are putting. And they are doing things that they were not taught. They're missing out on values. How can these parents be happy?
Betty, it's difficult. To be honest, I feel for parents who really have to look for money and at the same time be around to parent this child. Because you're a couple and you want the best for your child. So you're actually looking for, all of you are looking for that shilling to take the child, to your children to the best that you can, to live to the best estate, the best zip code that you can stay. But what happens is, the question is, who have you left to your children to? And when you're around, do you have time for those children, or are you so stressed out or too tired that you are always having your own time? Research says you only need 15 minutes, by the way. You don't need a lot of time to actually talk.
Wow, I think that's very good news.
Yeah,
15 minutes.
You don't need
in a day?
In a day, every day, yeah. If you're
And that's doable.
It's doable. If you're a busy parent, you've come home, there's so much traffic, you've reached home, try and negotiate your time, even with your boss, that you come home on time for the children sleep. The children are on holiday now.
Yes.
Why can you not put your leave days when the children are on holiday? Yeah. Over the weekend, if you are not working, do you create time and presence with your children? When you reach home and your child has not slept, or when they are waking up in the morning, or maybe when you leave before, do you go back to the room, or do you go and look at them and even talk to them? Just create that little bit of time just for your child. It's doable. It's possible.
I like the fact that you said you only need 15 minutes in a day.
Yeah.
And that is doable for a very, very busy parent as
Very
well.
busy parent, yeah.
So it's just that people are not intentional, or they actually don't get the 15 minutes. What is the problem?
Yeah.
That at some point, instead of being happy with our children, we are only happy up to when we can feed them, when we can dress them and change them, when we can tell them come and they come. But when they get to teenagehood and they're like, Mommy, I don't want this dress, I don't feel like eating, I want to do this and you don't want it. What happens is that you lose your happiness as a parent when the days go by.
You know what? Even those 15 minutes, or even the parents who have all the time, how do you spend it with it? Do you spend it giving instructions? You know, I can sit in my house and all I do is just do this, do that. Have you not done this? Do this, do that. And I've been there the whole day. But all I've done is instructed. But have I sat and listened and looked at my children's emotions and look at what are they doing? What makes them happy? What are they going through? You see, have I got to a place where I have touched their heart?
Where you have touched their
Where
heart.
I have touched, not the
Rosaline,
cognitive.
How do you touch the heart of a child? Because children younger, all they need and they're satisfied with is just a mere lollipop, a packet of crepes, you know, just a piece of biscuit, and that's all they want. Even if you take them to the stores, they will not pick big things. You would hardly pay a bill of 500 for the things that your little one needs, you know. And the other ones, as they grow older, their desires also upgrade. And now they ask you for a bike, they ask you for, you know, those small things. Again, they will not ask you for things that are going to cost you 100,000 shillings, you know. And by this, many parents think they are relating with a child. How do you catch the heart of a child?
You know, any stranger can buy your child a sweet.
I know.
Any person, any uncle or auntie can buy your son, a 13-year-old, a bike, PlayStation. As they go to college, any man or any woman can buy your children an iPhone. That's material. But very few people will be able to touch their heart, to be able to get a space in their heart. And that's what you need to do in the foundation level. You get in touch with the emotions. You get to have an attachment with them. It's not about instructions. It's not about material things. It's about the thing. Even like when Christ came, he didn't offer as much, but he offers something that touched our hearts. And that's the lifeline that you need to give your child. You need to give your child a lifeline, like, you know what, no matter what, I have your back. Yeah, I understand your emotions. I understand when you're hurt. I understand when you have fears. I understand when you're embarrassed. I understand because I'm your parent. So wherever you go, and when this child even reaches campus, and they have the first heartbreak, and it happens, when they have the heartbreak, you went through that bit even, who will they come for? They'll come to you as your parent.
If you have had a relationship.
If you've had a relationship, a foundation, an attachment. And that is when I remember there's a book I read that talks about understanding your child's tears. What are they crying for? Yeah. When
Most
we grew
children
up,
cry for things they have not been given.
I know. When we grew up, remember we were told, don't cry.
I know.
Why are you crying? Why don't crying? Why are you crying?
Stop crying for
Stop
nothing.
crying. So you end up suppressing your heart. You end up suppressing your feelings. You end up suppressing your fears inside. Yeah. Then when you go to campus, or when your parents release you, now you unleash your fears. There's so much freedom because I was doing everything to make my parents happy. But they
And
were
that
not
wasn't
in
happiness.
No, it wasn't happiness. My emotions were not catered for. So when this girl, 18, 21-year-old boy, reaches and somebody tells them, gives them a little bit of emotion feelings, but that happens. They fall into it and
they lose
it.
everything.
Yeah. And then back home, you're saying, you know what? I did all the best for this child. I was there. I even left work. I took them to all the concerts, all the school activity hours.
You were so involved in
you're
the
involved,
events,
yeah.
but you were simply giving instructions and do this and do
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and providing what they needed.
Yeah.
You missed out on the most important thing, and that was catching their heart.
Catching their heart. Catching their
And
heart.
you say you catch their heart through tears.
Through tears, through finding a relationship, through their emotions, understand who they are, what is their emotions. And you know what, you can have 10 children, you can have 2 children, and they'll all react differently. So you need to create time. You know, when they say, when people say, I need to go for, there are a lot of instructions early. You know what, you need to date your child, you need to take your child differently for dates, you need to take your child for shopping, just you and your child. But what do you do?
Date your child.
Yeah. What do you do? When fathers are dating their girls, take them out for dinner. What are you doing with your daughter there? Are you talking about school? Are you going into her emotions? Are you going into her heart? And are you being the first man to touch that heart? And telling them, you know what, daughter, it's okay if you fail.
It's okay if you're dumped.
It's okay if you're dumped. It's okay when you show your emotion. It's okay when you cry. But what happens is how you lift yourself up. And for the boys, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel hurt. Yeah?
You know, Rosaline, talking about happy parenting today, I think I have heard of so many parents whose happiness comes from the A grades and the good performances that their children give, and the way their children appear in the newspapers for doing all the good things. And you find that there are also parents whose children, especially now during this holiday time, this is a time they're going to get into teenage pregnancies. This is a time they're going to be introduced into drugs and weird characters that they would not even want their parents to know. And yet, we're talking about happy parenting. Are happy parents the ones whose children are performing and bringing the good grades home? The ones whose children heed to instructions?
My definition is a happy parent is a parent who understands the child's emotions. At the end of the day, when my child graduates, even with an A or becomes a successful business person, what dealings will they be doing? Will they be doing shady dealings? You know, you can have a lawyer, yeah, or you can have a doctor as a child, but they're the ones who are doing backstreet abortions. They're the ones who are doing funny deals. They're the ones who are bringing corruption in this country. So what's the point? What's the point at the end of the day where when you wake up in the morning, your name is on the front row, on the newspaper?
Some parents don't care as long
on
as this child is bringing money.
That's yeah.
You know, and they're there on the top, on the headlines of the newspaper. So and so, you know, like if your son is called Ken, you know, just to quote, Ken Keegan, and I mean, that is, he got an A, you know? He's the best, he got a first class honors. That is what makes you happy, and you go around keeping this newspaper for 10 years in your wardrobe. This is my son, do you know about him? And you want to introduce yourself, tagging your son to yourself, you know? As long as he has built you the best house, as long as he brings you the money, and you look like a peculiar woman in the village because of the things that your children do. Is that what a happy parent is?
How will it end up? For me, it's just...
Who cares? As long as you're happy. I mean, only God knows the end.
Yeah,
tomorrow is known to God.
I think we are God's stewards for our children in this world. And as a parent, you can see your child going astray. You can actually see. But we are in denial. Because you can get a child who get 400, gets A's, but this child is not well. He's even abusing you. We call it child-centered in psychology. This child is actually controlling your house. Yeah. These are the children who might not even keep jobs, and if they get married, they might not even keep their
marriages.
Yeah. So that's what you want your child to end up with. Yeah. Do you want at the end of the day, you're the one taking care of your own grandchildren just because you ignored science, and for the benefit of a child getting A's, you ignored science? What you want is children in this nation who have good characters, who have good morals, And can I tell you, Betty, any child with good morals will do very well in the world.
They'll do very well.
Very well.
So this idea of parents just wanting the grades and the performance to be up there, it's not what makes them happy.
The idea of parents wanting the grades is not for the child, it's for them. It's for me to look good.
Because that's what parents are working hard for.
You're
moving your child from this school to another because not for the discipline or for their character, but you were looking for their performance. And this is not happiness still?
No. When such parents come for therapy, when you look at their history, their history, you find that there's something they missed. There's something they missed along the line when they were growing up, and they're getting their growing, getting their dreams from the child, and they'll do anything for their dream to come true. Yeah, so it's not about the child.
It's not about
a child. A parent who pushes, you know what? You can push your child to the best they can be. As a parent, you need to know your child's limit. You need to know your child how far they can be. If your child is an A student, you'll know it. This child is an A student, and that's what they need to give me. But there are parents who leave their dreams into their child. So they'll do anything, even though it means bribing. That's why even C.S. Matiang stopped these parents' visits for children on third term, because parents will collude and give their children answers. Yeah, parents will collude to do so many things just for the children to get up. So you need to ask that kind of a parent: are you doing it for your child, or are you doing it for yourself? This area of social media, I want to post on my Facebook wall that my child is doing very well.
Though you're doing a party for him or
doing
her.
a party. But you see, how many children do we know? And we've seen them, and we've talked to them, who come and say, you know what, I didn't do that for myself. I did it for my
parents.
Yeah, I know.
That's the most unfortunate bit.
4 years.
Because in my own understanding, I will tell you, Rosalind here, being an expert, that for a child who is able to speak to the mom and dad as clear, as clean as it is, and say, you know what, Mom, this I'm doing for you if you insist, and not for myself. I think that would give a parent happiness. And not just the child persevering and keeping it inside to do it for the sake of the parent, and then reveal it later when everything else has been spilled.
Yeah. You've done 7 years, 6 years of medicine, and you've passed.
And it wasn't yours.
No, you give to the parents. Then you go back and become the DJ.
Wow.
Yes, because that is what you wanted. So you can imagine if that money has been spent and you actually support your child's career.
Don't you see that's the reason why parents are so stressed? You know? And today you want to give these parents happiness and you want to teach them the right way to parent happily. Look at the children, Rosalind, who have characters that are not really appealing or weird. The parents who look at children and you imagine, wow, they are really disciplined. I wish my children can be like this. And there are also children you look at and you wonder who brought them up, where do they live, you know, what kind of a suburb do they come from? Do you think this also gives parents happiness?
With my experience as a therapist, I would really caution somebody to wish to be their children to be like the other person's children.
Oh, really?
Because, as I say, you don't know how the grass is watered on the other side. It can be watered by sewage water. The many families just come up for show. There's a lot of do's and don'ts. When we go out there, you line up and you give your children rules. Don't do this, don't do this. Why? Because you're going to let me down. You're going to make me look bad as a parent.
You're going to make me look like a failure.
You're going to make me look like a failure as a parent. Yeah.
You know, parents are trying to get happiness from their children. That's what I get.
Yeah, yeah.
They're trying to get happiness from their children. So when their parents do good, when their children do good, then they're happy. When their children behave in the way that they like, then they're also happy. So how are they supposed to get parenting? Leave your children just like that and let them do the way they want and live the way they want? Is that what really makes you happy, because you have let them be themselves?
You can't, because as a family, you have the values.
Yes.
You have to have a values as a family. And those values have to be inculcated when the child is small. When they're becoming bigger, they'll push boundaries. Yeah? And you have to insist and be persistent. And as we had said earlier, you go for the heart. Yeah? Be more emotional attached. Be emotional attached. Have a secure attachment with your child. Yeah? More than be instructive with your child.
How do you confirm that I think I have achieved? When it comes to emotional attachment, I have killed it. How do you confirm?
Let me give you a scenario, Betty. When you travel out of the country, or you travel away, and you come back, and your 6-year-old sees you. At the first instant, they'll be like, they won't want to come to you, but they'll have some tears or something, or they'll have feeling like they're annoyed with you. That shows to you that they missed you. Their body language shows that they missed you. Yeah, that you see that there's an attachment. When you travel, even when they get big, when you get away from your child, and it's not tears of tantrums, yeah, it's tears knowing that, you know what, Mom, you've come back and I've seen you. And it doesn't have to be tears shed, but shedding of tears, but you can see the body language. That you can see this child is securely attached and you have a relationship. Even when they're when they become teenagers and you're with them, the first person that if they have an issue it should be you. Because they know you have their back and you have a relationship with them and you understand their emotions. Yeah. But if the fear coming to you as a parent, yeah, then there's something. No, when as they grow up, there may be some things they might feel embarrassed to tell you. So, or you also need to start introducing them to a community. Yeah, an uncle you trust, a community of people you trust. So you as a parent, if you see there's something going on, or there's something that they're not telling, or they're still, boys can be ashamed of telling things to their mom, or girls can be ashamed of telling things to their boys, a trusted auntie. Yeah. Also,
so you'd rather introduce that next person,
and
not be the one who.
No, you can't be the first person. If they fear, then loop in also community. Because as they grow up, you don't want to be the only person.
You don't want to
be the only person. Yeah, you introduce.
Yeah,
life skills. Yeah, life skills. Introduce them to people who with the same values as you. They can be easily talk to them. They can easily add value into them. And there are people who are good at the mentors around them.
What happens, Rosaline, that with the intention of being a good and happy parent to your children, that your children now get to the point where they fear you, not like they're ashamed of telling you something, but the fear of your reaction, and your judgment. What if that is what your case is? I believe it's never too late. The parent who is watching and listening right now, and that is their scenario, as in, I have lost my children. How do I regain? I mean, how do I get to that place of, let's start over again? Do the children, do they really have the ability to trust you after all these wasted years?
It's never too late. And especially parents of teenagers. And you're just realizing that that I didn't do my parenting very well. I didn't put up my foundation. I was very instructive. I didn't hold my child's heart. I don't know even my child now. But it's never too late. You can always go back to a drawing board, and maybe talk to your child and ask your child, you know what, I need to understand. I need to understand you more. Can we do?
So you need to have a conversation.
Have a conversation with the
And,
children
and admit that you failed.
You need to tell them, you know what, I didn't do my best. I didn't know. But can we start this all over again? Maybe, what do you like? Can we do the things? Get involved. Get into their world. Get involved with them. If they want to watch. I know mothers who watch TV, who watch football with their sons, and they have got no idea
what's happening.
What is happening. But they sit and they'll sit and they'll watch. Yeah. I know fathers who will go just window shopping with their daughters. Yeah. Just because that's what their daughters like. They'll sit and do you know, when you do activities together with their children, yeah, they start opening up slowly. They realize, mom is concerned, dad is concerned, yeah, and pick them up, dropping up from schools. You'll see their faces. You'll see what happened in school. You see this one was annoyed. These little things. Going to them. Don't wait for your child to come to you. Go to them. Yeah, and just find out, how are you? How was your day? They'll give you, the teenagers will give you one or two words, but probe more.
You know, there are families where I want to believe that each family has values at least. But now there are families where things are not straightened up. And much as the mother or the father is really trying to instill values into the lives of their children, but one party doesn't have values and is actually doing the opposite. How easy, Roslyn, is it to instill values in your children single-handedly without the support of the other person doing the exact opposite of what you're teaching your children? I don't think there's a parent who teaches their children it's okay to drink, but not too much. I don't know if their parents would do that. But if the mother is the one who is instilling this and the father is doing the opposite, how doable and workable is that?
Apparently, we've had very many scenarios of that where there's no united front, where one parent sees the value of doing the right thing and bring up a child the right way, and the other parent doesn't. I wouldn't say really don't care, but they know that value.
Yeah.
And I've said it all comes from family of origin, how everyone was brought up. Then you meet and you decide, this is how I was brought up, this is the way, and this is how I was brought up. Or I was beaten so much, my children I won't touch. Or we did so much domestic work at home, my children will not do chores. And this other one has come from a place where, you know what, for me to train my child life skill, they need to do chores. Yeah. The only thing we can do is, as a parent who wants to see value on your child, and the other partner is not giving you support, just be consistent. Just be consistent.
They still get it.
They get it.
The children still get it.
Children still get it. In a school, how many teachers are there? We have each teacher per subject. And not all teachers will tell you about values. But at the end of it, after the end of the year, when children come and say their speech, you know what the children they pick out? The teacher who cared. The teacher who was there when I was tearing. The teacher who was there.
Wow.
The teacher, yeah, it always comes up. They always get it.
Wow.
And you know what? At the end of the day, we have a living God. He's always there for you.
I need us to take a short break, Roslyn, and then we come back and continue with this. Viewer, we are taking a very short break. Please allow us to digest this that we have been talking about. I hope that on your end also you can think about it, that you have to catch the hearts of your children and not just to give them the goodies and the material that they need. Stay back here, coming back shortly.
I'm a young baller. Every
What's up, my people? This is Brand Senior, Mr. KCA, Mr. Glam International Kenya, People's Choice, and The message is, if you are out there and you have any talent, all art, if you have any artistic thing, this is the place to be. Wednesday and Thursday.
Mi ningekuwa dem ningeitwa Joy, fruit of the Holy Spirit. Lakini si ati mnikule kama nimeiva.
Hii ni wine ya word. Junajua spirit zenu zimezoea 8 PM na masaa ya 2:2. So 7 PM ningependa mnitune in kama nipashe cause I'm your fellow citizen.
8:30 PM manze on your favorite channel. I'm talking about GBS TV.
I'm a young baller.
Hello, viewer. Welcome to
Chungu, Jamii.
My name is Tegist Hailu.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ruben West
I'm Dr. Charles Mukuka
from the United States of America.
I come from Ethiopia.
from Zambia.
I love Kenya very much.
I love the Kenyan people.
Love is not by confession. Love is by action.
Come on now.
When you are a husband, you are not a husband.
It's very important.
You can count the seeds in an apple, but you can never count the number of apples in a seed.
Her phone is her phone. My phone is my phone.
You only know what you know.
Who forced you?
The more you spend time together, the more stronger.
A woman is like a Bible.
Could tell me that they were born and it wasn't from a female, I'd like to know.
A woman, she's a good asset. And a woman, she's a very, very good investment.
When you're up, your family knows who you are. But when you're down, you'll figure out who your family is.
Thank you so much.
Right. Ni nani? Ni nani? Carry on. Hola. Genius DJ. Genius DJ. Genius DJ. Genius hype man. Wow. It's bigger, it's better, it's live. I'll be your host, Ipola the Experience.
Genius Republic DJ Karian.
Join us for Eko Mziki each and every Sunday from 8 a.m.
For the best in gospel music as we host your favorite gospel ministers.
Every Sunday, live on your favorite station, GBS TV. Boom, 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 boom. Carry on! Hey!
The youth, we need to change the way we approach issues. That the world out here is very harsh.
I was just waiting for things to happen in life, like finish school, then just go to career life.
Some people are depressed. You're not depressed because you have a problem. Some people are depressed because they're frustrated.
So we young people, in as much as we claim that we are denied opportunities of leadership, I think we also have to assert ourselves as leaders.
And one challenge that I keep telling the young people, it is the mindset.
Mind education is so important in many different ways.
When you go to the world, they don't ask you, are you Kakayo or are you Luya? Hey, mimi ni Luya bwana, ule joko Kakamega tunakulanga kuku. Now,
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer. Our SMS line is 21144. You could text us in some questions and we will give you feedback. So we are looking at happy parenting. Are you a happy parent where you are? Do you think you have done your best? Are you the one who is just giving instructions, do this and do that? Are you also the one who thinks that has done so poorly and other children are better and more disciplined than yours? Let's hear it more from Roslyn. What do you think? What is wrong with identifying and pointing out more disciplined children than yours?
Yeah, you can, depending on, pointing out, it's tricky because unless I've really spent time with this child, then that's when I can pick out.
That's when you can pick
yeah,
out.
because discipline is wide range.
Discipline is wide,
Yeah.
I agree, Roslyn.
Yeah.
But haven't you gone out with your kids and you're watching other children together with their parents and you're like, wow, my children are such, you know, these ones are much better. And you're thinking, how do they do it?
I'm trying to imagine.
Because that doesn't give you happiness, you know. You're already stressed when this thought has come to you. And you want to do something.
I know, especially when you're dealing with little children. You know what? The thing is, are you saying discipline is when the child is quiet and they're playing at their corner and they're looking pretty and nice? Or are you saying, how you define that discipline when you see this child? Because I prefer my child to play. If it's play, let them play.
Yes. But now when it comes to manners.
But let them play. Manners like saying sorry, thank you. Yeah, that none you can pick.
That you could point out.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. That you can point out. The child is well disciplined. But Betty, you need to be very careful. Because and I must say, is with my a child might maybe come for a function, but they've been told by their parents, if you do this and if you do that, you come home, we'll punish you. Or if you do this and do that, yeah, you'll be spanked. If you do this and do that, you won't get this. So
if you do this and that when my friends are around.
When my friends are around, yeah. You behave very well, I'll give you something.
Goodness.
I'll buy you ice cream, I'll buy you what. Yeah.
Rosalind, that sounds really strange.
And it happens.
I wonder, why are parents not real? And yet, they're complaining about their children. How do they want to be happy? I think this happy parenting thing is so difficult if that is what parents are doing. If you just want to mask, you know, your children to behave a certain way for a certain duration of time, for the sake of the people around you, it's so unfortunate.
It's about masking. It's about.
Why?
And this thing of brushing filters is not only on the phone.
It's not only on the phone.
It's even in our lives.
We're taking selfies every day.
Every day in our lives, and we are remote controlling even our children to fit into what we want. But the thing is
where is the pressure coming from?
The pressure is coming from the society, Betty. The pressure is coming from the society. For me to look good, yeah, to be presentable, my children have to look good and be presentable. So I'll do anything for them to be good. But what you need to do is
and that doesn't give you happiness.
It doesn't give you happiness.
And that's not happy parenting.
That is not happy parenting.
So how then do parents become happy parents, having done happy parenting?
There's an advert I love, and they say that is good because you'll wash it out. I love that advert. Let children be children. You know, you cannot, if you have parented your child with good values, good morals, good foundation, yeah, let them be. There's a difference between peer pressure and peer influence. They'll have some peer influence. They'll go somewhere, and at the end of the day, Betty, do you remember even what your mom has told you? At the back of your mind, there's some things you do, and you remember, if I do this, what will mom think? What will dad think? What will all these other people think about me? Yeah. You see, that is in their heart.
Yes.
You're not there, but they're remembering.
It's engraved.
It's engraved. And they don't want to let you down. And they're also in touch with their God. They don't want to let people down. So they'll go, and then now they're the ones who draw back. They don't want to reach that far. Yeah? And they might come and tell you, or they might hear. Then you'll ask them, what happened? I hear this happened to you. I'm like, yeah, I was there, but this and this and this and this happened.
But you know, Rosaline, it's not an easy thing. When you, as a parent, has had some bad news about your child, you know, to sit down calmly and talk about it. The first thing, an immediate thing you want to do,
raise your voice.
You want to rain on them like that, you know, before this issue is tabled and discussed.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, how we were parented. And so how do we just get out of it one night and decide we are going to have conversations slowly by slowly. How do you achieve happy parenting?
There's no perfection in parenting.
There's no perfection.
There's no perfection in parenting.
Mhm.
You let your children down, they'll let you down.
Mhm.
You'll get annoyed, they'll get annoyed.
Mhm.
But you are the adult in that relationship, not your child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I always believe that let this child do mistakes when they're still under your roof.
Mhm.
Let them do all they need to do. Let not your child front a perfect child. Because there's no perfect child.
Okay.
Yeah. Let them not have two personalities in your home.
Mhm.
A child you want to see, and after there is a different child. Two sets of friends. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Let a child be. Let them come, and we pick it up as teachable moments. So you went there, you did this and that. You hit this other child, you did that. So what did it make you feel? So you use that as teachable moments. And if you had a similar story of yourself, of a sister or a friend, tell them. Yeah, tell them this.
It happened to me
It happened
too.
to me more. It
So
happened
don't
to
pose
this.
as the angel.
No, we are not A's. We didn't get A's in maths. No. Some of us even C's, you are lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're lucky when you get a C in maths. But be, I think if you be genuine with yourself, understand who you are, be comfortable in your skin as a parent, deal with your personal issues, talk about them, see a specialist, deal with the personal issue. And as a person, as me, Rose, I need to be happy. Because people hurt others. When I'm hurt as a parent, I'll hurt my children. When I'm not happy, my children will not be happy. When I have some unsolved issue in my life, I'll relieve them in my children's life. Yeah? So
You definitely will.
Yeah. So because I'll remember, oh, you're there, we did this. No. Just be happy, be content, be happy as a parent. You cannot be perfect, but try your best to be happy. And let your children be. At the end of the day, number one, you have God. God is at your back. He's the Father. Yeah. You've instilled the values. You instilled your rules. They're there. The values. You have introduced them to mentors around. You've introduced them to your to church. But now, you as a parent, you as a dad, you as a mother, are you the role model? Are they seeing Christ in you? Are they seeing you as a good person? Are you the one who the first thing auntie at home does something, you shout at them and abuse them? In the car, do you talk about other people when you're driving and your little girl, 4-year-old girl, daughter is there? Do you talk badly about the dad to them? You know, they're little things, very little
That
subtle
people
things
just neglect,
that people
but
do, yeah, that now you ask
They
us-
catch up with you.
They catch up with you
They catch up with
later,
you.
yeah.
Actually, Rosaline, this has really been a nice show.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you have taught and enlightened a lot of people.
I
And I'm
hope
also
so.
happy you said it's never too late. They can still start up somewhere, however much it has gone on to the opposite side. I want you to give your parting shot to our viewer who has been listening today to this episode. And please remember those that they're not happy at all. They really want to be happy parents and they feel they have lost their children completely.
Thank you, Betty, so much for inviting me to your show. What I can say is there's no perfect parent, there's no perfect child. And parenting is ups and downs. But the key is understand who you are as a parent. Know yourself as a parent. Look for your personal happiness. Because once you're happy, then it's easier to infest that happiness to your children. And for parents who are parenting solo or their partner is not showing the same values with them, my parting shot to them is do whatever you're doing. Keep on doing it. And they'll not forget. They'll pick it up. Those values will be picked up. At the end of it, it will be picked up. Don't give up. We do parenting classes. We do parenting forums. And I normally share them on my Facebook wall, Rosalind Keegan. You're welcome, and we can also do therapy sessions one-on-one, and you can welcome. We can start and can start discussing. But it's not all lost. It's not all lost, and don't give up. Don't give up. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Rosalind, for coming. Thank you, viewer, for watching this episode. I am so sure that you have carried something home, and especially don't just be the one who says do and don't do. Be there, work with your children, and catch their hearts. I have been your host. My name is Betty Kuku. See you next time.